Another beautiful fall day, time for a market update. Hi there, and welcome to another edition of Ideal with Neil News Market Update. Hope all is well. Want to take a look at what's been happening here in September. Certainly, the last number of years, we've had nothing but great news for sellers, and if you remember, certainly not fantastic news for buyers over the last number of years. But if you paid attention to my last market update, certainly over the course of the last number of months, that has been changing. And September was no exception. So let's dive into the market stats. All right, so let's take a look at InfoSparks here and take a look at what's been happening in the market. If we remember back, average sale price, there was a high, and this is all types of properties in Waterloo region. High of 839 in June, dropped to 796, and then 759 by August. In September, we were relatively stable at 757, but certainly not on the way up as far as average sale prices go. When we look at single detached, it was again a high of 1,000,005 in June, and now down to 876 in September. Again, a bit of a drop in there as well. Townhomes, not quite the same that way. In June, we were at 667, and we're at 639 in September. So again, continued drop there. Condos, interestingly enough, they were at 497 in July, and we're at 500 here in September. So they've been holding out okay. Semis, we've got the average sale price, again, it was a high in May of 728. And we've been relatively stable the last couple months after a drop down to the 670 point in July. So big talk this month has been inventory. And so, yeah, new listings, we can see we were at 1,330 in June and dropped steadily down to 1,031 listings in August. And now we're back up to 1,400 in September. So a lot of new listings coming on in September. I mean, certainly lots of people wait until the summer's out to put their houses up for sale. So yeah, lots of inventory, lots of choice for buyers currently. And then you can, put that with the sales that we've seen. Again, we were at a high in May of 808, 782, and then now down to 527 here in September. So the sales, obviously not a great graphic for sellers as far as the sales. And days on the market, the average days on the market, they have fluctuate a little bit here, but certainly as things have been changing here in September, 18 days. And it's interesting because we see that a lot of people, if you remember the concept of holding off on offers and in hopes of getting multiple offers, well, now what we're seeing certainly in the last couple months is sellers not necessarily getting the number or the number of offers or the price they want on their hold date. So then they're going to plan B, sometimes plan C or D, and that's a lot of times canceling their listing, relisting, and trying at a different price, whether higher, lower, or the same, that sort of thing. So that's the days on the market there. I wanted to also look at percentage of original list price, and so that kind of, when we're talking about, how much over asking are we getting and that sort of thing. Obviously, you can see back in the day, February 22, which was our peak, was, the average over asking was almost 30%. And certainly this past, in this year, May was the peak with 8% over asking. And you can see it slid down there to the point now where in
September, the average over asking was 2.4%. So certainly multiple offers are still happening. Certainly people are still paying over asking in certain circumstances, but it's far and away different than our peaks of 2022. And buyers are just not prepared to pay that crazy over asking price anymore. So I think that's about it as far as what I wanted to come across with the market stats. You can certainly look through all the different things in the market update sheet as far as differentiations on semis, towns, condos, etc. For the other stats. So that's about it.
So, as you can see, I mean, certainly changes are happening here. I mean, obviously, the biggest driver has been the increase in the interest rates over the course of the summer here. I mean, it's just making it tougher for the purchasing power of the buyer. And obviously, that whole fear of missing out type of thing gets cut back from the buyer's perspective when they're looking at higher interest rates than they've ever seen. And so we'll have to see what happens here. I mean, certainly more inventory is advantageous for the buyer. We'll see what happens October 26th. That's the next Bank of Canada announcement, and we'll see what they do there. I mean, if it remains stable, perhaps that gives buyers a little bit more confidence. But again, inventory, with the rise in inventory, at least buyers are going to have some choice. Not fantastic for sellers. Certainly with the decreased sales for sellers that are required to sell, they're going to be up against it a bit, and they're just going to have to deal with the market as it is. Certainly, there are still sales happening for sure, just not as plentiful and not in the way they were with so much over asking price. I mean, that's just not happening right now, the way it used to. So as for the crystal ball moving forward, who knows? I mean, it's interesting. I hear, lots of different sides of the story. Some saying, oh yeah, we're going to get lots more inventory when people's renewals start coming in and people are going to have to sell. I mean, typically what's going to happen with the banks and what we're going to probably see for the most part in the next coming months is banks talking about extending amortizations, making it longer for you to pay out your mortgage so that you can decrease your monthly payment. So there's that side of it. For buyers, should they wait? Should they do something now? I hear, oh geez, when interest rates come down, oh boy, that's going to open the floodgates for buyers again, and all of a sudden, things are going to get crazy again. I mean, that may be true that there's still lots of buyers on the sidelines. The reality is, how long is it going to take for interest rates to get back to where buyers are going to be really excited? I mean, everything I'm hearing is that at minimum, these rates are going to be here for quite some time. I mean, the Bank of Canada is definitely not interested in seeing prices going crazy again, that sort of thing. So who knows? I mean, everybody has their own opinion on it. Maybe somebody will be right, but we'll just have to see. So I will keep you posted with what's going on, for next market update. But once again, thanks everyone for your referrals of friends, family, and coworkers. I always appreciate it. Certainly necessary as things slow down a little bit here. A little bit different out there. So if you have any questions on any of this, please feel free to reach out. Thanks.